I am the director of the solar system now at Goddard Space Flight Center. And even though I'm an astronomer, I'm not a solar system astronomer or planetary astronomer. I have a lot of background in how NASA works, and I turn out to be very good at managing people. So I manage a group of about 110. 100 of them are PhD physicists who do or astronomers, geologists, geophysicists, instrument makers, who do a very broad range of science, most of which gets sent to other planets. So if I were to have a conversation with myself from 35 years ago, there are some things I admire about that self, one of which is this courage and adventureness to go into these wonderful different classrooms that it was sometimes very difficult. I would walk into a classroom with 105 men and 3 women because I was studying physics. And I'd walk across the classroom and 100 pairs of eyes would follow me. So it was pretty intimidating. You had to be courageous. But somewhere when I think about that person, I know that there were all these threads there that came together later, and the courage that it took to do all those things turned into a lot of passion that became a job that I was very, very good at. Partly because I didn't back away from that courage of doing difficult things. I think there's no such thing as a career. I think there's an entire, we live long lives, and I remember reading at the beginning of my life as a working person that 80% of the jobs that were going to exist in 25 years were things we had no names for. And I think that's even more true than it is today. So when a person goes into the work world, I would say the single most important character to keep yourself aware of is flexibility in what you do. And then I would say the next very, very most important thing is self-knowledge. Because the 2 things that make you happy in a job are, one, if you feel like you're effective. You're affecting the situation. You're making things work better. The group is being more productive. You're improving communication, sales, whatever the job is. You know if you're being effective. And then the other thing is, are you learning something? Or are you plateaued out? And so when you're looking for jobs, those are the things that will make you happy. For a young scientist who's hitting, calculus, physics, astronomy, matrix algebra, quantum mechanics, all the classes that I took, I think I took those classes after 2 years of taking, French and acting and 15th century Nuremberg history and, a class on plays, an enormous variety of classes that entered into my brain many other thoughts that actually had to do with humanity and humanity's many talents. I think that sort of thing is very, very important for the soft skills. So people skills are phenomenally important. And my very, very best lab chiefs have excellent people skills. They're very aware of other people. They are automatic mentors. I call them oak trees because they're these great majestic oak trees, and they have growing up all around them young oak trees who are the next generation of leaders. And then the ones that are no good at people, I call them sycamore trees, because you may not know this, but sycamore trees have toxic chemical bombs that fall out of the tree, and when it rains, they leach chemicals into the ground, and nothing grows underneath a sycamore tree. So they have nobody to follow them in their field. I think it's terribly important for scientists in today's world to get the people skills, because scientists no longer work alone in their office. Science is a team effort, and we see that in NASA all the time. The instruments are bigger than they used to have to be because they have to be more complex. And to run a group, you need a motivated group that feels a part of the group, and you need to be able to mentor them and bring them in and engage them in a way that they feel part of a larger endeavor.